Welcome to The Wedding Edit, a wedding planning podcast for the modern couple. We are your hosts, Kelly and Dana. So, welcome back for another episode. How are you, Dana?
I'm good. How are you going?
I'm good.
Good.
So, today is a very special day. It is Dana's birthday. Woo!
Woo! Yay for getting old.
Come on, Olive. Yeah, say it. Say happy birthday, mummy. Now I've rezzed her up.
Yeah.
Sorry, sit. Okay. How are you feeling? How are you turning today? You don't want to tell us?
So I'm
Or young.
36, but I'm 35 weeks pregnant.
Wow.
Didn't really line that up very well. Should have been a week difference.
So we're celebrating Dana's birthday today by recording a bunch of episodes,
Yeah.
which is exciting.
Yes.
You'll be exhausted.
I love working on my birthday. No,
We'll
it's
try and
fine,
make
it's
it fun. Ow.
No, it's fun. Just fight you.
Stop nibbling. All right. Sorry, guys, for those who aren't watching the video, that's Olive being naughty.
She's
Dana
hungry.
and Doug's dog. So we're talking about social media at weddings today, and I'll get Dana to explain in a minute about what we're talking about specifically. But I have a funny story just that I want to share with you because it's been an interesting week this week. So I went on to my business Facebook account last night and I noticed a comment, but I don't look at my comments on there that often. And so it had been written 12 hours before. And it was, this woman was like, I posted a picture of a welcome sign at a wedding and I thought it looked kind of nice. And this woman wrote, it kind of looks like a tombstone to me. And I'm like, at this
That's
point,
nice.
am I getting trolled? Is this considered trolling? Dana.
I think only if it's happened more than once, maybe.
Well, it
I don't
has
know.
because when we did a shoot 18 months ago, I totally forgot about it until I sent the screenshot to my friend who did the signage and said, look at this comment. She was like, is this the same person that did this last time? And I was like, oh, I forgot about that. It was 18 months ago and it was really colourful signage and someone wrote, it looks like a gravestone or something.
I mean, you'd have to be a pretty colourful person to have a gravestone that looked like that.
Well, I felt like saying it's the nicest gravestone I've ever seen.
It's really big too. That would cost a lot of money if you did actually have that as a tombstone.
Well, and also it's not durable, long term. It's not made from stone. So I've got quite a lot of arguments against this.
Could you imagine if
Karen.
welcome signs were made out of stone? That'd be so bloody expensive.
Her name wasn't Karen, but is the Karen narrative getting tired? Anyway, shut up, Karen. You're blocked. If you're listening.
Makes a new account with a new email address just to come and troll you a bit more.
Yeah. Someone's a bit sad that they're not getting married.
Oh, why do they follow you then?
I don't know. Look, they're one of those people that you can't see their photo. They've got nothing. They're very hidden.
Yeah.
Typical troll-like behaviour. They have a really random
just on
photo.
Facebook to make other people's lives miserable.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So
nice.
anyway,
That's
enough hating on Karen.
Yeah.
So I've lost one follower overnight, everyone.
Removed.
Yeah. So look, today we're talking about social media at weddings, but specifically, do you want to explain what the new trend is here?
Yeah,
Dana?
sure.
'Cause,
So we're seeing a lot of behind the scenes kind of content creation at weddings now. Generally, it hasn't really hit South Australia that much. I know it's really big in the eastern states and even bigger overseas, like in the US. But yeah, I think it.
What is it though? Can you explain for those that don't understand what we mean by content creation?
Yeah, sure. So basically somebody comes alongside your photo video team and is creating videos and also photographs of the day.
Yeah.
But it's done on a phone. So it's not done. Yes. It doesn't have to be done on iPhone because there's other cameras on other phones that are really good as well.
Yeah.
So, but the iPhone, the new iPhone has a really good camera and we're just going to see them getting better and better, honestly. It's going to get to the point where it's almost it's a proper camera, I feel. So,
wow.
But, these people, they'll like shadow your photographer, videographer, and then basically they'll like Dropbox you or have some kind of a system to get you the photos and videos like the next day or, you know, in the week following your wedding, so that you've got all of this kind of behind the scenes of what's happened at your wedding when you weren't there. So like, you know, all of your guests kind of arriving to your ceremony, if that's something that you're interested in, and them talking and stuff like that. I mean,
what about like, what are some of the things that they could capture that maybe a videographer doesn't get?
So I think when you're talking about a photographer or a videographer that is doing content like, you know, covering your wedding, there's only particular times of the day. Like you can't kind of split yourself off into two people. Some people do actually have teams of more than one person, which it's a really beneficial thing, I think, to get like a second shooter or a second videographer if you're having things like the cocktail hour during family photos, because your photographer is going to be doing family photos, whereas everybody's going to be having cocktail hour. So your photographer can't be in the two places at once unless they've got somebody else.
So are you saying if you've got two videographers, you don't need this content person, or is it a complete, like, is there a gap where what are they covering that's different?
So it's more personalized, I feel. So it's, I hate using this word, but it's more influency.
But is it also kind of candid documentary in a different way to the polished video you get? Like it's more like, you know, like going up to your mates while they're cheersing a drink, and like doing, even though the videographer does that sort of thing, or like more raw, a little bit more raw.
Because it's so polished what you get from a videographer most of the time. There's lots of videographers that are more raw with how they do things. Like some videographers, their whole deal of what they do is like camcorder style, like
that's the sort of thing. I mean, but also, is there another reason, which it's just sprung to mind, that you would get this type of service? Is it because you can cut up all the content and create reels, whereas with your videographer you can't do that, can you? Like it's not allowed.
People do it. Like I've seen our own clients cut up our videos and make reels or TikToks from them. It's kind of a little bit of a grey area. Like you shouldn't really be doing that, and you do have it in your contract, you know, not to edit and things like that. But I mean,
it's a trend now though, isn't it?
It is, absolutely, But things have changed so much in this atmosphere that I think that it's
okay to do.
And it's going to change more, and you can't really expect people not to do it. I think.
Couldn't a videographer just offer an additional thing where they just like provide you with a bunch of clips that are just raw? And they go, here you go, you can take them and do what you want with them, and then here's your professional video.
So the issue with doing it that way is that you won't be able to do anything with the raw, like essentially, well, because they're huge files.
So
and it's professional video.
Snippets of kind of cool moments.
It would be, I think, if a videographer was to do it like on their own, like, and they didn't have a team as such, it would look something like them attaching their phone to their video camera, like that.
I see what you mean. Or they could just have a person there doing the iPhone side of it.
Exactly.
So they could add it as an add-on service. But just for those listening, I guess, what does this service, when you want to Google it, like if you want to add this kind of service to your wedding day, and I guess it's probably more because, you know, Instagram influencing and TikTok influencing, it's become a real trend. So I guess it's probably more targeted at people who are big with social media.
Or those that just like really enjoy social media.
It's probably not for people who don't share their personal life on socials, really.
If you're a private person and you're asking your photographer and videographer not to share anything on social media, this isn't something that you would do. Or if you're somebody that's got like, you know, just dog pics on your Instagram, or you're just not into
another
it.
Service, the iPhone that follows your dog around for the wedding day.
That would be really
Strap
cute.
One to the dog like a GoPro.
Yeah, that would be adorable.
Hilarious.
Yes.
But anyway, so going back to, so we're seeing this as a new service in South Australia, but it's kind of already existed interstate.
And it's quite big already.
Overseas.
Yeah.
And like, what are they called? Like wedding content creators, or?
I think so. Something like, I haven't Googled it myself. We should probably Google it and like just see what comes up. But it could be social social media content creator for a wedding.
Yeah.
Wedding content creator.
So we've just done a quick Google and it's called a wedding content creator.
Mm-hmm. They might have other names as well, but
yeah,
we'll see. As it gets bigger and bigger, I'm sure it will like work its own name out. But there's lots of different ways in which this could be done, just like with adding photography and videography to your wedding day. There's different packages.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's going to be different packages, different styles for different people, always. And I think so some of it might be that, you just get all like the raw footage as such, which is just like whatever they get on the iPhone, which, looks good generally to the eye already and doesn't need to be edited.
Yeah.
But they might also edit things. So they might, instead of just giving you everything that was taken, which might include like blurry photos, and you might be into that, but instead of like just getting everything, you might get like a culled down version.
Or they might create some TikToks
some reels.
and reels for you or whatever.
Exactly,
With music. So like I suppose you can probably scale up based on your budget and how time poor you are.
Yeah.
But it is an additional cost.
Yeah.
So
I would say that it would probably start from $1,000, but I think we'll see this increase as time goes on because
depending on what you include in the service, it could be right up there, up to like almost the cost of a photographer or a videographer, really.
Well, they're going to be there, or not all of them, depending on what you do get.
They can be there for like 16-hour days. Like if you're wanting them to start in the morning and capture everything right through to the end of the night.
Yeah. I mean, that would be a lot.
That is a lot, but you never know. Some people might want that.
Yeah.
That would cost a lot though. I imagine that would be like upwards of $5,000 or more.
Yeah.
Probably. Depending on how much content, how much editing they do.
Yeah. It's a really interesting thing to think about, like where we're at now with social media and trends for weddings and things like that.
Why would you hire them? Like if you were going to hire this sort of person, what would you see the benefits being?
I don't know. Like I feel like it would be a bit more detail oriented. Like I would like to see, I guess if it was my wedding, the bridesmaids having fun.
Yeah.
Or like me spinning in my dress looking beautiful, or
people doing something silly in the photo booth if you have a photo booth. Like stuff that you don't really see.
And like your parents and stuff having a cute moment. Like just
someone falling over on the dance floor because they're drunk, like that's raw. That is real.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I have at weddings before, I have got my phone out because some things that just go on are just so crazy good that you're like, I have to have this. Like I have to have this. We were taking photos at a wedding. There was a videographer and we were taking photos and they did like this amazing like mashup dance, and I like thankfully saw that there was like a cupboard nearby, and it was actually in a marquee, so it's a bit weird that there was a cupboard in there.
I know the dance you're talking about.
Yeah, but I put my phone there and just hoped for the best. But I was able to like cut it up into some into a reel, and I had like my photos of like different points of the dance.
Oh, that's so cool. Was that Grace and
Grace
Dylan?
and Dylan.
Yeah. That was so cool.
Yeah, they're such a fun couple.
Yeah.
Because like once you choose a song.
Don't ask Dana to do it unless you're going to pay her more.
Yeah, I'm like, you have to pay me more than like my professional photography service to get me to do social media at your wedding.
You started this new service without knowing it.
Yeah. We have actually thought about adding it to our packages.
You should.
When I say we, I think I mean me, but
Doug's like, oh no, I don't have time for that.
But yeah, like just I guess like you and I have done a few styled shoots together, and we had somebody working for us, and I just had her come along and she was really good at taking behind the scenes video even of me as
for branding,
and people want to see it. Like
people
especially,
love the behind the scenes. I don't want to see the polished as much anymore. I feel like there's a real change in the way we want to reflect on our day, and that's even from a business perspective, the way we want to reflect on.
I think people want to see that you're real, that you're a real person, you're human, you have feelings. You're
and,
not a robot.
It's not perfect and polished. It's not like, Kim Kardashian's wedding, I don't know, like wedding video or whatever, or Paris Hilton, I don't know. I haven't watched any of their wedding videos, but if they have them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think people like to see that I think in general it's just nice for me, just being an average person that isn't an influencer. I just like seeing behind the scenes of family, friends, grandparents, like having a good time.
Yeah.
Funny moments that I might have missed, like because on your wedding day you do miss a lot of those in between moments.
Yeah.
Because you're so busy, with the wedding party or chatting to someone. You get caught up chatting to someone for a while, and you miss things. And then I remember after my wedding day, I was jealous that my friends had I felt like they had a better time than me
at your wedding
together.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't hang out with them.
No, exactly.
And
you're throwing an event for them. It's not really for you in a way.
Yeah, so you're busy with all your family and all the other people that you feel obliged to, you've got to say thanks and talk to them all. And then your mates are like, oh my God, your wedding was the best. We had we had such a good time on the dance floor. Remember when this person did this? And you're like, oh, no, I didn't see that. I was too busy.
Yeah.
So I think this kind of scenario could cover a lot of those in-between moments where, the couple feel like they've missed out as well.
Oh, absolutely. And I think the couple will really love seeing all the little tidbits and stuff. So
if you're listening and you have used or hired a wedding content creator, we'd love to hear from you. And just hear about your experience and even share your some of your footage.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That would be really cool, whether you're in Australia or overseas. Yeah, I'd love to see what hear about your experience and what you guys got in terms of the outcome.
So when we're talking about content creators on wedding days, I know that I have heard a lot of, concerns and things like that within the industry when it comes to video and photographers.
Concerns from suppliers.
Yeah. So, just because, your video team can sometimes be upwards of 3 people and your photo team is normally 1 to 2 people. Sometimes it could be more. But if you think about it, depending on what you're like as a person and your personality, you might be totally fine with that. But, I think generally speaking, when we're talking about 2 people getting married, they're very different personalities.
Yeah.
And I know that most of our couples, we generally have one that's I'm okay in front of the camera, but my partner's a bit shy.
Yeah, So having 6 people standing there with phones and cameras at you.
Yeah, it can be
a lot. Yeah.
Doug and I had 3 photographers and 1 videographer at our wedding.
I only had 1 of each.
It was very strange for 2013 to have 3 photographers, but
is it an issue though for suppliers adding another person in the mix, or is it just something they're going to have to adapt to?
I think it's something they're going to have to adapt to, and it's literally just like a photographer and a videographer that haven't worked together before, working together on a wedding day. You're both there for the couple.
Yeah.
You're getting paid. You're giving a professional service, so you
just have to work together.
Yeah, you need to learn how to work together.
Not get in each other's way.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's about being courteous as well, and I think it's really good to be open-minded about it. And these content creators, they're not out to steal your job.
No.
And I think that also another benefit is that for the content creator as well, they could also offer a service where they're offering the vendors some behind the scenes footage of them.
Yeah.
And so you're not having to be to somebody that's there, a friend or your assistant or whatever, can you just get some behind the scenes of me doing my thing? They'll naturally get that
anyway.
Because I think the couple will want to see, this is my photographer getting me in this moment.
That's
when I'm
cool as
doing
well.
This. Yeah. So when we consider adding this as an extra service on top of photography and videography, and it's an extra cost, it kind of comes down to, budget is such a big thing when it comes to weddings. Is it something that we can afford?
I can see it becoming one of those things where, we've talked about in the past, people want to cut costs and they'll go,
Yeah.
oh, my friends have dabbled in,
Yeah,
she likes to put
exactly.
a bouquet of flowers together from the market on the weekend. I'm going to get her to do my wedding flowers. And then I've
Yeah.
had to say, I know that you want to cut costs back here, but this is potentially not the place to do it if they're not an experienced florist, depending on how complex, all those things. So it's kind of the same thing here where, you know, if you get your auntie or your friend and you say, like, I want to save some money, so can you just follow me around with a phone all day?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that's fair, for one. Two, it's a very big job.
Yeah, it is.
It's like depends, you know, do you want them to be recording from dawn till dusk?
Yeah. They need to know to do it the right way. Like, I think it's really good to add it as a professional service because these people know how to do their job professionally and will do it well, like alongside other professionals. And that's super important when it comes to if you want really good photos and you want really good video, like, and then you also want this content creation, those three need to work together well.
Yeah.
And that's
depends how important it is to you as well, because if you're not really an influencer or you don't really care about TikTok trends, then you probably don't. You probably are happy for just a friend to capture a bit of the ceremony, a bit of the reception and whatever.
Yeah.
But if you're wanting, you know, someone who knows the trends, knows how to record, knows the songs that are trending or just different things like that.
Yeah.
If that's something you want or you want a lot of your day captured behind the scenes, it's probably not fair to put that on a family or friend who isn't really going to be able to enjoy the day because it's a big job.
Yeah, absolutely. And you want your guests to enjoy your wedding.
Yeah, that's right. And it's exhausting. You'd be on your feet all day.
Yeah.
You guys would know, you know. So you've got to consider the other person as well and not just the fact that you want to save some money.
Yeah.
So I think it's just, dependent on what you want and what you're expecting that person to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's all we, I guess, wanted to talk about today when it comes to wedding content creation. But we will plan to get someone in who offers this service in the future.
Yeah, be good to revisit it.
Yeah, we'd love to like interview someone and talk about all the details once it's a bit more established. But in the meantime, if you are listening and you've hired a wedding content creator for your own wedding, and you've got some examples or even just some feedback that you could share, we would love to hear from you and share if you're happy for us to share within the show notes if you've got any examples or videos that you've had someone create for you. Yeah, just shout out, send us a DM or an email and we'd love to share that on our socials.
Absolutely.
With your permission.
Yeah, thanks so much for listening.
Thanks for listening.
If you're loving listening to the Wedding Edit podcast, we would love it if you gave us a review on Apple Podcast or Spotify.